Hello everyone, welcome to my Simon Says Stamp Hey Bestie release. This was part of the January 2020 release from Simon Says Stamp. I have most of it here. There's only like one or two things I don't have to show you guys. This release went live, goodness, a week or two ago. I'm not 100% sure. I'm still in a bit of a fog, recovering from all the different things. Anyway, I didn't die cut this time. Apologies. I wanted to film this. I literally don't have space, and I have a little bit of OCD and like to do my release review videos and unboxing videos and whatnot, just to have that nice overview, to see things as much in person as you can, and then I go into creating. So let's just like dive right in. It's literally like piled up and it's fun. So I've got the Lifting Hearts stamp set. It's just really cute. So you got a cute little bunny with balloons, a little turtle with a balloon, these little mice with a balloon and a gift. So you got congratulations, you lift me up, so happy for you. Thank you for being there for me, I love you. Like, you lift me up whenever I need a smile, congratulations on your new baby. So I really like this, kind of another one of those more open-ended sets. Oh, and it's even got the little strings, so you can stamp the balloons and then you can stamp the string. I like that. That's a cute little idea. So just a nice cute little set. There is a coordinating wafer die set that will die cut out all the little characters as well as the hearts in the set, which I really like. So super cute. Then we have, this is the Thanks wafer die set. This is a huge set. When it comes attached, it's literally like this big. I've separated them. I'm including the graphic of how it looks when you line them all up. It's just a really neat die set, and I've said this in other videos. When it comes to card making, for me personally, I make a lot of thank you cards because I have like my Patreon page, so I like to send thank you cards to them. I always seem to need more thank you cards than anything else. So anything thank you related, I'm like, yeah. So each wafer die cuts out the piece like it shows in the graphic, and then a letter, and then you line them all up, and they're A2 sized, so they are, I think they are exactly, yeah, 5.5 inches top to bottom. So then you can die cut them obviously from all different colors of, you know, pattern paper or cardstock, and then it will spell out the word thanks, which is, I guess the N comes before the K, obviously. So the thing too I like about this is because they are all separate like this, you can just use up tons of scraps, but you can also leave off the S and do thank, and then have like a die cut U or a stamp you know. It's just fun. I'm kind of really excited about this set. I think it's going to be a really neat set to play with. So we've got that one. And then we have another printed sentiment set. Don't have the name of this in front of me, and I closed my laptop, so but it'll be linked. But another one where they've done it basically black on white instead of just the black sentiments like they used to do. So it's just kind of fun. So I wish we were neighbors. You feel me? Want to have coffee? I miss us. I miss you. We're due. Hey bestie, thinking of you. We could always live in a commune. Too funny. Too funny. I like these like silly little sort of snarky sentiments. And you get a pack of, it's either 3 or 4 in this. Which I like with these pre-printed sentiments because they're just affordable. They're convenient. It's like already done, you know, so you don't have to stamp anything. You literally just have to cut them out and stick them on. Yeah, I think there's like 4 sheets. Yes. So I like that as well, having extras. So it's like you can use one, but it's not like you're using it up because of course we all have those hoarding tendencies. So yeah, got that. And then we have the Snowflake Mandala wafer die. This is a big wafer die. It is so pretty. It's so detailed. Here is an A2 card front. Just to give you an idea of the size of this. Isn't that huge? I love it. I think it's so pretty. So, and this is again one of those sorts of things where it's like, I would just die cut it and stick sentiment over it. You could do a pretty background, some watercolor, some pattern paper. It's just one of those ones where it's like, this is like center stage, add a sentiment, you're done. Got that one. And then we have another one of the Shimmer series. They're like the window type wafer dies that Simon does. And this, of course, is the Shimmer Heart. So I've already separated it. There was a bunch in the, I think it was the December release. That's what it was. So you've got the outline that will die cut, but also add the stitch lines around the perimeter. So you could use just this, you know, die cut the heart, it'll add the little stitch lines to the outside, and then have, you know, sentiments or a window to the inside of your card, etc. And then you've got this piece that you could die cut from another piece of cardstock and layer it under. This one does not die cut the perimeter. All it die cuts is the little floral window pieces. The outer piece, or die cut area, whatever you want to call it, is just the stitch line. So if I was to just use this on here, it would die cut out all the little pieces, but it would leave the stitch line, but it wouldn't be a separate piece. It would still be part of this, if that makes sense. So it's just kind of neat how it gives you those options, rather than it just being, you know, just a standalone die cut. You have the two, depending on what you want to do. So these are really fun wafer dies. So we've got that one. And then we have this stamp set. This is the Love Friendship set with some really pretty florals, little kind of scribbles, and then sentiments. I like how you can kind of build your sentiments. So I admire you more than you know. And you have I and you. And you have all of these words. So I admire you, I love you, I adore you. Or you could use all of them, really. And you got love blooms, love you more. Like, just a really, really pretty set. And I just like that it gives, again, I like options. More options, the better. So we have that one. Then we have this great big set. This is a 6x8 stamp set. This is the Be Kind stamp set. And it's just, it's another one of those ones that immediately when I look at it, I'm like, watercolor. But it's also one of those ones where you can just stamp and heat emboss it. You know, stamp it, heat emboss it, say do it in gold. This on, like, even on this card, do this, you know, stamp it in gold and then add a sentiment. You know, it's just anything foliage is generally, it's good for just everything. All different kinds of themes, masculine cards, thank you, sympathy, all of that. So really pretty set, big 6x8 set. So all of these images are large. So you only need one if you wanted, you know, to take center stage. There is a coordinating wafer die set that will die cut out these large foliage and whatnot, and they will die cut like right up like these. It's not just like the outline, it goes right in, you know, and die cuts everything, which I really like. I personally prefer that. So really beautiful set. There is another big 6x8 set. I didn't get it. I don't know if Simon sent it to me separately, like they send me the releases. I freelance design for them. I will include a graphic of it. It's beautiful. I want it. I'm just waiting to see. I'm not sure, because sometimes, just depending on production and that, like, I'll get releases sometimes staggered. So this was actually sent in 2 separate packages, and then that set might have been sent later, and if it's not, I'm going to buy it because it's beautiful. Absolutely love it. And it's another 6x8 set. Absolutely gorgeous. That floral heart just sends me. Need it. So we got that. Then we have the etched snowflake background. The second I pulled this out of the package, I'm like, I want to use my Nouveau shimmer powders with this because it will be beautiful. So that's probably what I'm going to do, hopefully this week. You know, sit down and play with that. It's just, all Simon's background stamps are red rubber on cling foam with the image printed like onto the cling, which I really love. And yeah, this is just, you know, when you see, there's like videos and image of snowflakes like that, or when they like land on glass and how they melt, and I think it's so pretty. And at least for me anyway, there is still a ton of snow outside. Like, we're in just the middle of winter. I got months to go. So even though I'm wanting to like create for spring and Valentine's Day at the same time, I'm like, winter themed stuff is still relevant. Anyway, I got that one. Then the other one is this cute, this is the heart garland background. It's another really pretty stamp, and I just like this one because it's like, you can use this all year round, depending, you know, you can definitely do Valentine's with it, but you know, it's just hearts, little heart garland. It looks so cute with different images, wafer dies, you can have your little critters, all that stuff. Like, love it. Got that one. And then the other exciting, there's like so much more in this release. We have envelope dies. I'm really excited about these. haven't had a chance yet to play with them, but I'm definitely going to. So we have, okay, so 2 of them are 4-bar sized envelopes and 4-bar cards. I don't make them very often, but now that I have envelopes for them, or can make envelopes, 2, yeah, 4-bar cards are roughly 3.5 by 4.5, if I'm correct. 1, 2, 3, something like almost 3.5 by 5-ish. There's a little bit of wiggle room there. So a little smaller than the standard A2 size card. The thing I like about 4-bar is they are like a little bit more narrow, a little bit smaller, and it's just amazing sometimes how just by making it a tiny bit smaller, it makes images look so completely different. Hard to explain. But I normally don't do 4-bar very often because I don't have that many envelopes. So now there's 2 options, which is really cool. So these are wafer dies. So you can die cut cardstock or pattern paper. Let me just, I didn't even cut open top of this. And make your own envelopes, which I think is really, really fun. What I also love about this is, yes, I have one of the punch boards, but you need like a large piece of cardstock or pattern paper to use a punch board, and then just a square piece and you do all the scoring and everything. That's fine. The cool thing with the wafer dies is you can use more than one piece because you have the base that does like most of the envelope, and then there's the separate die that will do the other 2 flaps. So you could do different pattern papers or different cardstock to finish them off. I know Jennifer McGuire did a video when we did the blog hop. Yeah, when we did the blog hop like a week and a half ago, she did, I think, a video dedicated. I haven't had a chance to watch it, but I think she did a video dedicated to these like wafer dies. So I really like it. So we've got this is the 4-bar V flap, obviously, V flaps. This one will, let me double check, I'm almost positive. Here's my Spellbinders die cutting plate. Almost. So here's a standard die cutting plate size. This is my Spellbinders Platinum 6, Gemini Junior is the same size, etc. This one is just, I call this just shy, only because with the Spellbinders plates, the edges curve down a little bit. But with something like this, I would die cut the piece like this, and then you just shift it up and run it through. Or if you have a bigger machine like the Spellbinders Platinum, that's the big machine with the 8.5 by 11, like 9 by 12 plates, or the Gemini has a 9 by 12. These will fit through, obviously, no problem. And you obviously want to remove this center piece like this. Another must-have is little wire snips like this. If I remember, I'll try to link to these. I always try to remember to link to them when I show them, just because they are a game changer. And then my other little tip, I showed this in another video not too long ago, is when it comes to cutting off the little tabs, I like to grab them. I don't press down, because if I do this like this right now, anyone who's done this, you know what I mean, this is going to fling off, like most likely into the wall or into your eyeball. I like to grab them with the snips, like this, and then I twist. And it takes it off much cleaner. And I've been finding since doing that, that 1, they're obviously not flinging off everywhere, and 2, I get that cleaner bit of an edge and it's not as sharp as it can be. So just like that. So I get those snipped off just like so. And then, yeah, you die cut your cardstock with this, and then you could die cut the flaps from separate pieces. So you could do multicolors, all that stuff. So there's the V flap option. And then there is the 4-bar square flap envelope. So same size, just a different style. And I kind of like that. Because what I like about this one, at first I was like, does anyone, like, obviously you don't need all the things, etc. But what I like about this one is the opening is like a kind of manila envelope sort of opening, because that'll be the opening. Then you have a narrow bottom flap, and then you have the 2 wafer dies to create like the back of the envelope, just like so. So it just creates a completely different look. Again, personal preference with something like this, but I just kind of like, so you can get an idea how they look completely. Like this is more of your traditional, this would be a traditional envelope. You'd use the same wafer die cut it twice to do the flaps, and then it's just going to create a normal looking 4-bar sized envelope. Then this one creates more you know, top folding, like manila style. Again, I will be doing videos showing these. Highly recommend if you're not already subscribed to Jennifer McGuire to check out hers, because she does the absolute best techniques and tutorials and all that stuff. So there's that one. And then of course the one I'm personally most excited about, because this is what I make 99% of the time, because that's just what I do. This is the A2 V-flap envelope. This is a very large wafer die. This one will fit through a standard die cut machine like the Platinum 6, like you will have to make sure you line it up properly. And again, you would have to run it through, you know, die cutting it, and then this bottom portion obviously would not die cut. So then you would just shift it, you know, up, and you can run it back through, and then you die cut your base, and then again you die cut 2 with this one, and you're good to go. So same exact idea. You have your base that'll do kind of the top and bottom flaps, and then this piece you would adhere after die cutting it to create the 2 side flaps. And I love this. I love this. It just, I have been, like, it's like I've been waiting for this moment. I've been purchasing all that 12 by 12 pattern paper. I have a stack, you know, like this. That's mostly, I think, what I'm going to use this for, is a way to just kind of use up some of my older pattern paper that is no longer available, but I couldn't, you know, I've never had the heart to get rid of it, is I can use it in die cut envelopes and they'll be all nice. And the thing I like too about this is it's slightly bigger than a standard A2 envelope, so you can see. So here's, like, this will be where the base shape of the envelope is, because there's 2 score lines here. So this center area will be the shape of your envelope. And what I love about it is it will create, here's an A2 card front. It will create an envelope about a, what would you say that is, an 1/8 or is it a 1/4 of an inch bigger? Like nearly a 1/4 of an inch bigger all the way around. Not quite, like maybe like 3/16. So the great thing about that is you could die cut your envelope base from, you know, cardstock or just heavier pattern paper, and to make it sturdier, but it's also wider. So, because, you know, a lot of us like to make our cards with the embellishments and the foam tape and all the things, and it's bulky. And so there have been times where I go to, like, stick my card in its standard A2 envelope, and it's like you're trying to shove the damn thing in. So I personally am very excited about this. Like I said, Simon sent this to me. I would have bought this in a heartbeat. Like, I know larger wafer die sets like this are definitely pricey, but something like this for me, I would have been like, I would have been ordering this, because it's something that I might not do, like, you know, a ton of videos showing it, but I'm going to get use out of it, just making my envelopes and using up that pattern paper is mostly what I use it for. Although I've had people send me cards that they've made, and they've made the envelopes out of cardstock, and I really like it. It does add to the weight. I know this. But again, me personally, when it comes to, and I've, you know, since I started the whole Patreon thing, I mail out a lot more cards than I used to, and it is kind of crappy when I'm mailing out a bunch of cards at once. And I have to add extra postage to all of them because, you know, they're too bulky, they're too heavy, etc. But for me personally, in the end, at the end of the day, when I've, you know, when I'm mailing a card, I've made this card, I've put, you know, my heart and soul into it, enjoyed the process, I'll make the envelope or use one of my fancy, expensive envelopes, whatever. And I go to put postage on it. And yeah, the postage is more than standard, and it's always going up. We all know this. But then I'll get an email from someone, and just how it showed up at the right time, or it really brightened their day. They really appreciate it. And it's just like, for me, again, worth it. Like, anyway, I could go on side rants all day long. So we got that. Then we have large things. This massive stencil. I knew this stencil was bigger, but then when it showed up, I just kind of, holy crap. This thing is huge. So this is the Bursting Hearts stencil. This is 9 by 12. This stencil is massive. Like, holy. So, you know, our standard stencils that we all use are roughly 6 by 6. So half that and like this. This is huge. The beautiful thing about this is, obviously, if you are a scrapbooker, this is so much fun. But what I really love, let me grab an actual piece of cardstock here so you guys can kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about. Okay. What I love after I was looking at this was, okay, here's a standard 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. Is you could stick this monster stencil on here and then do your ink blending, glitter paste, any of those things. You know, do your coverage of the stencil on this entire piece of cardstock. And then cut this cardstock into 4s. You have 4 different card fronts with this one stencil, and it'll look, you know, completely, each one will look completely different. Like, you know, the one will have hardly any, you know, just some hearts in the corner, add a little sentiment. This one will have, you know, a nice little cluster. This one will have the great big mondo heart, you know, like, it's just kind of neat. Kind of neat. So yeah, this stencil is enormous. I'm not sure at the moment how I'm going to store this. I'm probably going to just use like a big page protector maybe? I don't know. I'm kind of floored by this. It's another one of those things where you see it online and it's like, oh, that's really cool, and you know it's bigger, and then it shows up and my jaw kind of dropped and I was like, oh my goodness, this thing is huge. So we got that. And then the rest of this release, this is like the CZ design release in my head. Because once I started going through it and seeing, I was like, wow, she did a lot this time, and I'm excited because I love, if you're not familiar, CZ Design is Kathy Zielski. She has been a major power force in the clean and simple scrapbooking. Like, I followed her like years ago. I would see things done by her, and her style and all of that, I love it. And then as she's gotten into card making, she's been designing for Simon and on these teams and stuff. And like, if you watch her videos or follow her social media, she has quite the snarky, and like buy her stamps, she has quite the snarky sense of humor, and I love it. Like, I love it. And I love the style of her stamps. I can't do that clean and simple the way she does it. Like, she is the expert. I call her the queen of clean and simple. Like, she does these things and they're just beautiful. I need to add the bling and the glitter and the 15 layers and all that good stuff. But I like her stuff. I'm always reaching for it. I love her wafer eyes, her stamp, all of it. Anyway, okay, there's all that. So we've got the large, we have the big ampersand wafer die. In the Love You More release, there's that big stamp set, which I have sitting right here. Ha! See, I keep the releases close by because, you know, I'm designing with new ones. So there was this ampersand words that was part of the last release. So we have all the awesome like words and the big ampersands and the coordinating images, all this stuff. There's a coordinating wafer die set for it. And then there's just the individual, how close are they to the same? They're about the same size. That's cool, good. I'll have 2 of them. So you have that's kind of meant like cut out that, but you could use it on its own. So I'm assuming there was quite a bit of demand to do a freestanding one. So now we have the big ampersand. So you have the solid, and then you just have the outline, which is really nice. So really neat. I love the style. Everything just works. So we have that, and then we have a couple of wafer dies and an awesome little stamp set. So we have the Like You Words stamp set. So you got the large, like you so very much. And I really like the phrases. That's another reason why I love Kathy Zielski's sets, is because a lot of the phrases are they just work. So I want to be more like you. I want to be more like you because you rock. I really like you more than you know. So it works. If humans were more like you, the world would be a better place. I still like you after all these years. And the thing I like about this too is there's like you and the end of it, but then there's the previously released ones that I still use in a lot of my videos, and I love. The Love You Like set and Love You wafer dies. So you could switch that out, you know. That's exactly what I will be doing. So there's that. The stamp, and then there's obviously the wafer die itself. Same idea. We have the word and the outline. I like how her outlines are very detailed. Like, they take out everything. They work really nicely. And this outline, I'm almost positive you could also, yeah. You could use the outline on the stamp. So you could stamp and heat emboss that if you wanted, and then die cut it. Always like the extras, you know, those extra little bits where things are just thought out. So then, same thing. You could use Miss You, kind of interchange it if you want. But yeah, Miss You, same idea. we have the words, which I've cut everything apart. So you got the words and then this outline for it. So you got miss you. So you got those. And then Kathy also released this awesome nested tags wafer die set. I have a feeling this will be very popular. I was separating these last night and I was like, I like these so much. So the largest one, just to give you an idea, nothing's working for me. There we go. Just to give you an idea, that's on an A2 size. So there's the largest tag and then all, so you just have options, you know, depending on what you're making. So you have 5 different tag sizes. And then you have the little like reinforcers. I love that. In different shapes. There's a little heart, a little kind of like starburst, a little like squiggly one, and then just a standard circle one that you can add. So just a great, another great set by Kathy. So we have that one. And then there's this big, another big stamp set from Kathy. This is the Miss You Missy stamp set. Like, for those that aren't aware, I'm Canadian. I live in Canada. Can't even, it has been like over a decade since I've even been to the US. This is irrelevant. But for those that are in the US, you've got the map of the US, you have Hawaii, and you also have Alaska. So you've got your little image, and it's a size that will fit nicely, again, on an A2 size card. The cute idea of this, obviously, is you can stamp this, and then you can add like place markers for where you are, where your friend, your person, your partner, whoever, where they are. And then, you know, add either the dash line or you can like draw your own. So yeah. But what I love, since obviously I'm probably not ever going to use this, I really like the sentiments in this set. So I think about you all the time. That came off way creepier than intended. This is what I mean with her snarkiness. I love it. Love it. Miss your face every single day. It's been too long. For those that it applies to, at least we share a landmass. You know, it's cute. Let's retire together. Book that flight. Let's book a play date. That's it. I'm booking a flight. It's not that far. Let's meet here. They have these things now called airplanes. Love means never hoarding your frequent flyer miles. My place, your place. You know, miss you. Such a nice set. And I just, as always, her font choices, everything, it's just always on par. Anyway, there is a coordinating wafer die for this, and as usual, a lot of them, that's what I love too, is the coordinating wafer are actually for the sentiments, because that's what I'm going to use from the set. I'm going to be using the sentiments, and the fact that I can die cut them, I have this thing, I love being able to do this. We didn't have this back in the day. We, you know, sentiments themselves, again, anyone who knows me, that's what I'm like the most drawn to. It's like I can create any card, but it's the sentiments that really get me. So, love it. She knocked it out of the park. And then last but not least, she really knocked it out of the park with this release. This stencil. So this is the Peony Bouquet stencil. Is beautiful. Isn't it gorgeous? The detail is beautiful. This will actually, I may actually pull out my color pencils. I have a ton of them. I don't use them very often. But yeah, doing ink blending and then using color pencil for detail, that's a very Kathy Rakusin thing. Again, if you have not signed up, this is total, like, nothing of mine is sponsored. Nothing sponsored. I don't get paid to say nothing. But online card classes, if you have not ever taken an online card class, they are owned by, online card classes is owned by Jennifer McGuire and Christina Warner. Tons of classes. I've done a bunch of them over the years. They just did a new one because they haven't done any for a while, and they're doing a new one. I think it's still going on, or it just started a week ago, whatever. Haven't had a chance because I've been too sick to even think straight. But they're doing one with Kathy Rakusin, and if you're not familiar with Kathy Rack, she does the 30-day coloring challenge. It's just done on Instagram. It's just open-ended, and it's just to encourage people to color. So my long-winded explanation. Kathy is amazing. Her coloring is just amazing. But the biggest thing that I've taken away just from the bits I've watched of her is like using color pencils to add that texture and the depth and all of that. And I haven't done it yet. But I think I might try. I have kind of really stepped away from using color pencils the last few years. Only because I am borderline carpal tunnel. I've actually been borderline carpal tunnel since I've been a teenager. So anything like using color pencils, especially, I used to use them a lot when I was younger. But that repetitive motion, especially color pencils, just the, you know, having to hold it, it's the same idea as like writing notes. I was in complete torture in high school when I had to do, you know, especially history. It was always history notes. But like my arms and my, like all the way up to my shoulders would just ache. So anyway, I don't do color pencil nearly as much as I used to because it hurts more often than not. But I was looking at the stencil and I was like, I think I could manage like just doing that little bit, you know, not a ton, but I love how it looks where you know, blend ink and add color pencil details to darken or to add texture, add that different bit of color. It just, you know. So I rambled a lot. I had a lot to say. Thank you for those that stick through my videos. Like I mentioned, I will have links to everything. I'll have links in the description box below. I will also have picture links on my blog, which makes everything a lot easier. And I will link to that other set that I don't have and all of that stuff. And also, yes, because I am late with this, because the post service just was not, you know, they were backlogged or whatever it was. And because this release isn't like new, that's also why I wanted to film it before, and rather than, you know, get all the die cutting and all that stuff. Some items are on reserve because they've been super popular, but you can still order them. It says right on the item, like if you click on an item and it'll say on reserve, and then there'll be red wording right below that that will say exactly when they're anticipating the stock to come in and to ship out. And it explains all that on Simon's website. I'm only saying it here just because people have been leaving comments in the last like week or so. They're like, oh, you know, I really like this, but it's sold out. You can't get this. I'm sorry. I can't control the stock. Can't predict popularity at all. Like, yes, certain things it's like, oh, this is amazing, but it's very impossible to predict popularity. And I'm a freelance designer. I don't have any controls over that. I'm just sharing what I love, you know, and just kind of going from there. But hopefully that explains it. And then, yeah, I will be back making cards and all that stuff now that I'm almost completely on the mend. I'm still struggling. I think I have a head cold now, so fun. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all for subscribing, thumbs upping, the positive comments, all of that. You guys rock. I love what I do, and you guys make it even better. So I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you enjoyed my completely, totally random rambling, because just whatever. And I'll see you all very soon in the next video. Bye.